First thing I always try to explain to the clients is what is the role of a mortgage broker and what is it that we kind of do that's different than, say, the client walking into their own branch and just speaking with a teller or a financial advisor.
Hey, I don't really care where I'm going to get my mortgage as long as get it approved. And I really want someone to, shop around for me, get the best deal for me.
Our job is to look out for the client throughout the whole process, not just, once your property closes, you never hear from us again, right?
What is going on, guys? This is Thomas, and yes, you don't get to see the chibi Thomas today. It's because I want to launch a new program to you guys. It's called Connect with Thomas, where I want to invite different professionals from their own industry to share about their expertise. I will invite accountants, lawyers, real estate specialists, mortgage specialists, pretty much all the profession that is related to money. We want to come up together and bring more useful content to you guys. And if this is something that you like, make sure you give me a thumbs up and leave your comments down below. And for today's video, I want to invite Andrew Chang from Citywide Mortgage Services. And today, here's the thing that we're going to cover. What is a mortgage specialist? How is that compared to getting a mortgage from the bank? Besides from the listing price, what are the other costs that we have to consider? And lastly, what kind of calculation do you have to do to get your mortgage approved? So without further ado, let's begin. All right, welcome to the show, Andrew. It's good to have you here. How are you doing, my friend?
Thanks, Thomas. Thanks for having me on. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, excellent. So for those of you who don't know Andrew is actually an amazing person to talk to. And I know you specialize in helping young families and individuals to get their first mortgage approved. So I always like to start off with this question, Andrew. I know you graduated from one of the top business schools in Canada, and you actually been into different industry as well too. But what got you into the mortgage business?
Yeah, I've actually been in the real estate industry for over 10, 12 years now. And I've had a lot of experiences. I've met a lot of people along the way, and I realized that it's a very complex and tricky situations, especially for first-time buyers or new buyers who aren't so familiar with all the rules and regulations. And I wanted to get into it to assist a lot of the people to show them that we can help them take care of the situations and make this process as smooth as possible. And I've really enjoyed, assisting a lot of young families and new buyers and even seasoned buyers in helping them to make this transition and this whole mortgage financing process as smooth as possible.
No, that's great. I do have a lot of clients come to me and say, hey, Thomas, I'm actually looking for my first property. What should I do? What are some tips that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think there's a few main tips that I usually try to go over with people to kind of get them started. So the first thing I always try to explain to the clients is what is the role of a mortgage broker and what is it that we kind of do that's different than, say, the client walking into their own branch and just speaking with a teller or a financial advisor. So there's a few big differences. Us as mortgage brokers, we offer unbiased professional advice for the client, and our main role is to work for the client, not to work for the lender or the financial institution. I think a big difference a lot of people don't understand is they think, for example, I'll give you an example. I bank with TD Bank, for example. I'm just going to go walk into the branch and they're going to help me out with, applying for a mortgage and seeing how much money I can borrow. But us as mortgage brokers, not only do we have access to, for example, let's say a TD Bank, but we have access to numerous other banks or credit unions or monoline lenders or private lenders or B lenders, depending on the client situation, that may be better suited for the client's situation and for their financing needs, right? So for us, we offer numerous alternatives versus a client who just goes to the bank and they can only be offered whatever it is the bank has to offer. Unfortunately, the bank can't offer you other alternatives, but we can, right? So that's what I mean when I say we offer unbiased professional advice. We work for the client's best interest because for us, it really doesn't matter who the lender is that we send you to. We just want to make sure it's the best situation and the best fit for that client. A big question a lot of people wonder is, oh, unlike other professional services, what's your fees? What do you guys charge? And the honest truth is our professional services are actually free of charge for the client. So it doesn't actually cost the client anything to use the services of a mortgage broker. So it's actually a win-win situation because there's really no downside for the client, and we're the ones that will do all the work, put together all the paperwork, run all the numbers, get the approval, do everything for the client so that the client really doesn't have to worry about too much during the whole process. So those are just, that's one point that I usually try to let clients know about in terms of, what do brokers do? How do we differ than the bank employees, that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, and I think especially during this time, everyone is so busy with their family, with their business and stuff too. And sometimes they will just like, hey, I don't really care where I'm going to get my mortgage as long as get it approved. And I really want someone to, shop around for me, get the best deal for me, and, work for the best interest. And especially I heard that from the mortgage renewal, usually the bank don't give a lot of incentive for the existing clients.
Yeah, there's a lot of different situations and stuff that that brokers can benefit a borrower in many situations. A lot of people just saying, okay, well, when I buy the property, that's it, and I don't have to deal with my mortgage for the next little while. And that's not the truth. The truth is, for the bank employees, unfortunately, once you kind of get your mortgage with them, you probably won't ever hear from them again. And then maybe 5 years down the road, for example, at renewal, they might just send you a letter and be like, please sign here to renew with us. But for us brokers, we walk with the client from day one, from when they start the process to however long they want to keep doing business for, right? So whether it comes to the renewals or whether it comes to buying a secondary home or buying a rental property, right now, for example, due to COVID, with interest rates and the financial markets dropping quite a bit, we do something called midterm switches and transfers, which, for example, if a client got a mortgage, let's say a year and a half ago, when interest rates were in the mid to high 3%, but now that interest rates are, let's say, in the low to mid 2s, it's beneficial for the client to switch out of the current mortgage and switch to another lender that has a lower interest rate and a better product. And we run those numbers, we do those calculations, because our job is to look out for the client throughout the whole process, not just, once your property closes, you never hear from us again, right? So those are just some situations that we help with. And we do a lot of future financial planning for clients as well, whereas, just because you buy a property now, they may be thinking, hey, maybe in 2 to 3 years or 5 years down the road, my family may want to upgrade our property, or maybe we want to take equity out of the home if the property values go up, and pull that money to do other investments or pay for our kids, schooling or tuition or renovations or whatever the fact may be, right? So we do stuff like that as well, which is called refinancing your mortgage. We can do stuff like debt consolidation, where if clients, especially during these tough times with COVID, maybe they're having issues paying off the credit cards or lines of credit, we can do debt consolidation where we refinance your mortgage and we use those funds to pay out all of your debts at a much lower interest rate of, let's say, 2 to 2.5%, versus paying credit card interest, which can be crazy, like 20%, right? So we try to do all type of scenarios for clients to help them out. And that's just some of the different types of transactions and the different types of scenarios that we as mortgage brokers can help clients out with.
Oh, wow. So not just, giving that, that proposal to the clients, but it's actually, you have a holistic planning as well too.
Yeah, exactly. We don't think of it as just like, hey, we're just here to get you the best interest rate and see you later, right? Our job is to really do mortgage planning and financial planning to help clients not just get the best interest rate, but help them plan and set up for now and in the future to see, what are your plans now? What are your plans 5 years from now? What are your plans 10 years from now? What are your plans at renewal? That sort of thing, right? So we always follow up. We always touch base with the clients to make sure everything is going smoothly according to what they want. And we understand that, life changes happen. And things can quickly change from now to 2 years from now, and their circumstances may change. So maybe the lender or the product or your financial situation will change, and we will try to help map out and plan for the client what the best scenario can be for them at that time.
Awesome. So my next question will be, let's just pretend, I'm looking for a place. What should be my first step? Should I come to a mortgage specialist like yourself, or should I go talk to a realtor first?
Yeah, so my suggestion to the client is the first step before you even reach out to a realtor, before you start looking up stuff online or looking on MLS, is to always reach out to a specialist such as myself to get pre-approved and to see what your budget is. I've had a lot of people come up to me and they say, I've been looking for a while with my realtor, but we've got accepted offers only to find out that we don't get approved for financing, or we cannot afford the property price that we were hoping for. So in order to save time and to maximize efficiency, I always tell clients, hey, come speak with us. We can put together your mortgage pre-approval. We can run the numbers based on your finances, your liabilities, everything, down payment ability, and see what your maximum budget is. And once you have your maximum budget set up, it'll help not only you, but help your realtor during your search to narrow down and know exactly how much you can borrow. And I think that's very, very important, because it really puts into perspective, hey, is this the right time for my client to buy? Or maybe we have to wait 6 months down the road to save up a little bit more money. Or, hey, wow, I didn't know I could borrow that much. Maybe I can now afford a bigger place than I thought I could have, because I didn't know I could qualify for so much, right? So there's different scenarios that it's really good to know exactly what your numbers are, rather than just kind of estimating that, hey, I think I could probably borrow up to this much, but I don't know for sure, right? So I think that's one big step. And I think the other big thing a lot of people have a misconception about, especially for newer buyers, is they think that, hey, once I get pre-approved, that's it, I'm good to go. And a big misconception is a pre-approval essentially is nothing more than just a glorified rate hold. So it doesn't mean that you're approved for X amount of dollars. It doesn't mean that once your deal goes live, and what live means is basically once you have an accepted offer into place, then your deal goes live for an approval. So at that time, a lot of people think, oh, once my deal goes live, I'm automatically approved. And that doesn't mean anything. So I always like to stress to clients when they've been told by me or by someone else, hey, I've been pre-approved, I can do anything I want now. I can go buy a car before I buy a place and take on more debt. It doesn't mean that. A pre-approval really just means that it's just a rate hold for you while you're searching, but it doesn't guarantee that you're 100% approved. So our job during this process is to get the client pre-approved, let them know what their budget is, and walk them through the step until they get an accepted offer, until the day that they close. We try to guide them and walk them through that whole scenario. So whenever you're budgeting and whenever you're trying to figure out how much money you need to purchase a property, you always have to leave a little bit of wiggle room on the side.
For interest rate, there's something called the variable interest rate and the fixed interest rate as well too. And with the current low interest environment, do you have any suggestion which one will be better?
Clients always worry about what's the rate, and that's not always the most important thing for the client. It's about figuring out which product is the best for their situation now and for their situation in the future.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you like this video or not. And if you have any inquiries that you wish to connect with me, my email and Facebook are in the description box. And in the meantime, take good care, and I see all of you in the next video. Bye guys.